So Deion Sanders and his son have caused quite the stir. And one of the best quarterbacks in college football was drafted in the 5th round. Now this is, and of all places, by Cleveland. Now I've looked at a lot of different opinions, and a lot of people have a lot of different things to say about it. But I think that all of those things are valid. They could all play a part. Of course, people will say that there's racism involved, extreme arrogance on Deion's part, extreme arrogance on his son's part, and these things can be debated and argued, and there could be legitimate cause found for each of them. Here is my assessment, though. There is one pattern in this that I find annoying, and that is the extreme distaste or dislike of black fathers in leading these boys to success. There is an issue that the culture, the world seems to have with black fathers in particular leading their children to success. They have a problem with a man having an overriding vision for their child and that child achieving great success because of that father's vision. Now, that's because I believe that there is an extensive attack on manhood. There is a huge attack on manhood in the culture. There is a need to promulgate the success of the feminized boy in our culture. It accomplishes the goal of the further degradation of our people. We already don't necessarily fulfill traditional roles very well. Everywhere there is any kind of black male leadership, it is discounted. It is seen as oppressive. How in the world can we be oppressive to anybody? We are at the bottom of the bottom of the totem pole in every area. Nonetheless, anytime any black male is seen in a prominent position, there is a problem with it. So, when these black men are instrumental in their son's success, when these black men are instrumental in their daughter's success, there's always some kind of problem. Let's go back to Tiger. They had an issue with Earl and how he was pushing Tiger, even though Tiger was extremely excellent, incredibly gifted, not just gifted, super disciplined and very, very focused. My goodness, Tiger was the example of excellence if there ever was one. Let's talk about Richard Williams and Venus and Serena. The relationship between Venus, Serena, and their father. In fact, it got to the point to where they were trying to discount Richard Williams to the point to where they were deriding him as if somehow he was not the conductor of the train, but just the passenger on an inevitable airline to success. But nothing is inevitable, especially in tennis. Those girls worked hard. Their father had a vision for them, incredible vision for them. They have a problem with black fathers being excellent with their children. They have a problem with it. LeVar Ball and his 3 sons, they got an issue with this man being braggadocious and putting 2 boys in his family in the NBA. And they're pretty good players. And the youngest boy, this kid, he's incredible. If he could just stay injury-free, those kids, they can't seem to stay out of being injured, but they're still incredibly talented and gifted children. There is a problem. There is an issue with black fathers and their sons being prominent and successful. They love the black boy saying, "Mama, you the MVP." They love that. Oh, they love that. "Mama, you the real MVP." They love that. But when a young brother, when a black man invests in his son and his son becomes successful, they do everything they can to discount that father and his involvement. Michael Jordan had a strong father. Shaquille O'Neal had a strong stepfather. These brothers had prominent men in their life, and they are pictures and examples of excellence. The best black male athletes have always had strong fathers. Muhammad Ali had a strong father. So I want to say this, when it comes to the whole thing between Deion and his son Shakur, I'm sure that arrogance and the circus that followed Shakur, I'm sure that turned him off to some teams. But then you had teams that were garbage, needed a quarterback, and they still passed on him. But I am saying that I would like for you to consider with me, if you will, the possibility that maybe, just maybe, society has an issue with strong black fathers creating strong black sons. But we got to think critically about things that matter.